Hello, I'm Dr. Vasavda. I'm a practicing psychiatrist for past 40 plus years in Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm a board certified psychiatrist as well as addictionist. Those are both areas of my interest. I'm also a distinguished fellow of American Psychiatric Association. But what defines me is not that, it's being there to help people that come to see me and not just talk about medications or the clinical aspects of treatment, but about life. Because often we get lost in the clinical aspects of things, not recognizing the need to look at the overall picture of a person and where they are going. And I also happen to be very aware of my clients' needs, not just in terms of mental health, but their health and their wealth. Often we see people with a malalignment in these three areas that leads to them experiencing stress and distress. The story of an elderly man that I worked with one time, he was in his late 70s and I was in my early 50s. And one day, as I was talking to him, I realized something. This man was driving a beat-up old Chevy. He worked very hard all his life. He was sort of retired and he would spend time meeting people and so on and so forth. And I just remarked to him, I said, do you realize that you're one of the happiest people I know, even though you're my patient and you had gone through a pretty bad depression at one time? And he said, how is that? I said, you got back pain, you still work hard, you lift things and work around your farm. You drive this beat-up car, you go visit your son who is obviously doing very well, but you don't have any expectations of him. When you come to see me, you bring a smile that a lot of people don't. And I'll never forget that man because he didn't have what I had, but he had a lot more than I did. I've known Dr. Sangani for past 12 years and have really enjoyed his company. And he asked me to participate in Life is a Business program that he has created. My role will be in the area of mental health and wisdom. Although he's a wiser man than I am, I would think that I would have something to contribute. One of the aspects that I like about it is the concept of surrender and saying that there are certain things in our life that we cannot change. It goes back to the serenity prayer where God gives us wisdom to change the things that we can change and the courage to do that, and wisdom to understand the difference between what we can and cannot correct. That simple principle, I think, is important because often we find ourselves getting stressed about changing a behavior or changing a relationship to our liking. It's kind of like having a dish that's been already cooked and they're trying to take salt out of it. It doesn't always work. I hope that you consider joining this program. I find the ideas to be very valuable even for myself, and the concept of good health and happy wealth is something we often forget while we're trying to help our clients who are dealing with mental health issues or just coaching somebody that feels a little lost in some aspect of their life. Part of my role will be to coach clients who are struggling through relationship issues and how best to come out a happier person, a vulnerable person who does not mind being vulnerable in some areas, and at the same time, setting boundaries on other people.